Thank God you're on our team.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Where am I heading?
Oh, group photo, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Realize how many lives you saved.
Yes, sir.
No. You really do. I've been in and out of Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq over 50 times, 48 times. And now what we're doing in Ukraine, been in there. Tell you what, you make a gigantic difference. Even back in the old days when we had real segregationists like Eastland and Thurmond and all those guys. But at least we end up eating lunch together. We learned a hard lesson during the pandemic. 1/3 of core inflation we faced last year is because of automobiles, the cost. Why? We had a lot of buyers because wages went up 5.5%. People wanted to buy things, but why couldn't they buy them? Because they couldn't make them. Why couldn't they make them? They didn't have the chips.
A majority of Americans actually think President Biden's policies have hurt the economy. They don't feel like he is doing enough on inflation. And of course, all of this is going to be top of mind for voters as we head closer and closer to those November midterm elections. Now,
you've been fiercely advocating for the president to cancel student loan debt, but really only 13% of Americans even have federal student loan debt. So is this really the best way to reach most voters? And also, what do you say to someone like me who worked 2 jobs for a decade to pay off all their student loans, just finished? Where do I sign up for reimbursement?
So let's start out with who has student loans today. About 40% of the folks with student loans don't have a college diploma. They're folks who tried.
Yeah.
They're folks who tried and life happened. Pregnancies, they were already working 2 jobs and lost one of them. Mom got sick, family had to move somewhere else. And now they earn what a high school grad earns, and they're trying to pay off college-level debt, and it is crushing their bones.
Let's talk about inflation, because that, of course, is what American people face first: the price of gas, the price of food, the price of housing. The president said in December that he thought that the U.S. was hitting its peak at inflation. Of course, that is not true. Let's put up the chart of the rate of inflation. Where on this trajectory is the U.S.? Is this the peak? Is it coming soon? What's the expectation from the White House?
Well, look, my crystal ball is, I do the best. We do the best that we can.
Prices are not, and I underscore, are not going back to where they were. You need months and months of minus signs on year over year, on month over month, CPI and PPI. Don't think you're going to get months and months of those.
You must have known that your prescription at the time, if you were early on to this rise in prices, was going to be worsened by all this excessive government spending, right?
We certainly knew that the fiscal interventions that we were doing was going to bring a lot of life back into the economy, and some of that was going to show up as some more heat.
So it was a trade-off for you, right? The trade-off, get more people working, get the economy back. The trade-off would be higher prices. But did you envision that it would be this high?
No.
I am now in the camp that the working person is beginning to get hurt by inflation pretty badly. I don't know how else to get that inflation down other than make it so the economy slows. Is there another solution that you have to make it so the working person doesn't get hurt by inflation?
No, listen, I can't disagree with what you just said. I think that at the kitchen tables all across America, one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issue in every household, is inflation. It's the cost of gas, it's the cost of food, it's the cost of everything that they have today.
And I know about Amtrak. I've traveled 1.2 million miles on Amtrak because I commuted every single solitary day, 270 miles a day, as my colleagues can tell you when the Senate was in session. You get a kick out of this, Sherrod. I was the Secret Service doesn't like me taking the train because it stops too many places, and so I was riding home though to see my mom, who was living with me because she was in hospice, and on a Friday, and a guy named Angelo Negri, a senior conductor, walked up and said, "Joey, baby," grabbed my cheek. I thought he was going to shoot him. They go, "Joey." I said, "Ange." I said, "He's okay. He's a friend. It's a true story." He said, "What's all this I read in the paper? You traveled over 1 million miles on Air Force planes. Every single mile a vice president or president travels, they keep a public record of on an aircraft, an American aircraft." And he said, "The boys and I were at the retirement dinner up in Jersey. So we figured it out. average 222 days a year, 36 years, total of 269 miles every day. Joey, whether it's true or not, I said, 1,200,000 miles, not counting as vice president.
Crisis for a lot of women in this country. What do we do for them right now?
Yes, I think we have. I think you're absolutely right. We have to have a clarity in what this draft decision means, so that the final decision doesn't go that far. The Chief Justice has said this is authentic, but it is not final. I don't want to use the word authentic. It says real, but not final. So again, Lincoln said public sentiment is everything. With it, you can accomplish almost anything. Without it, nothing. And women just have to weigh in. I don't think there's a good outcome here, but I think there's a better outcome than what we have seen in the first draft, which is radical.
Again, you can sit there and deny that the actions you took, your policies, have sent the signal to the world. And again, end Title 42, it is the final signal that our border is completely open. You even stopped calling it apprehension. Now it's just encounter. You encounter. You're managing the process by making that processing and dispersing so much more efficient.
I would like to finish my answer.
Well, you're not answering the question. You're just dodging it.
No, I've already answered your question, Senator, if I may, that we do not believe the policies of this administration have caused the migration challenge that actually.
Okay, that's you're living in an alternate reality.
That is actually.